mostly from white mentality, right? Because they're so used to oppressing people, and in order for them to uplift themselves, and so that's not the kind of men that I'm looking for. If I and I've been married, divorced, but the kind of person I'm looking for is you can be strong, you can be successful, but you still also can treat people humanely with empathy. That does not take away from you. In fact, it takes a strong man to uplift people and somebody I can grow with who understand my journey and we can build together and I understand his journey. So I just want to have that piece to it. So maybe we need to rethink how we're perceiving this masculinity, which is really is some of it's so off the wall. And for the gentleman that says in order to define masculinity, you need to know who is male and female, that's just a myth. We know who is a male and who is a female. And the fact that other people may not quite sure who they are has nothing to do with defining male or female. So that's just my input.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you for listening.
yes, ma'am. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
For the record, my man looked in Trump's eyes and told him what America was going to feel and influence later, and he got his ass checked. You don't come in the Oval Office talking crazy. Get your ass out of here. What we talking about? My man
And
should have kept his mouth closed. He literally looked at Trump and said, "Americans don't feel it today, but they're going to." And Trump caught it. That's that wittiness. He was like, "Wait a minute! Don't tell us how we're going to feel. Like
No, no,
you
no.
don't know position. No,
That's because of what
Marine.
he
It's not a
said
debate.
to them.
Marine,
uh,
it's
He
not a
was
debate. It's not
saying
a debate.
something to them.
Marine. I was just saying this out loud. It's not a debate. Maybe another time. It's okay. It's
Right.
okay. Trump already won.
Okay.
It's okay. We'll have to
Whatever.
debate the office. He's already
Whatever.
in office. It's okay.
Whatever.
You can write to the White House if you like. I don't work there. It's okay.
y'all crazy. Who
Uh,
else we got, Gary?
Carmen, welcome to the stage. Tell us where you calling from and what would you like to add to the convo?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Okay, just checking. Good morning. I currently live in Las Vegas, but I'm originally from Detroit also.
Interesting.
And
What up, though?
what up, though? East Side. So, um, where do I start? I'll try to keep it short and sweet. Uh,
Give us 60
I
seconds.
think I don't know about that short, but uh, I got some videos posted on my page, and I'll just say this much. Of a gentleman that I came across. I knew about this for like 20 years now, but I never found anybody that had it structured and organized like this. And I think, my opinion, um, we need to understand ownership of ourselves. I know there's a talk about masculine, feminine, but we also need to touch on humanity first, what it means to be a human. Um, and I think the more we focus on that, things start to fall into place. It's kind of hard to define either or. There needs to be, like so many people have already said, balance. You need the balance between your masculine and your feminine side. You need to, me, I'm a mom. My son just turned 30 on Friday. Um, and something I had to learn when I first gave birth to him, I was starting to behave like my mother was. A lot of this is hereditary, um, and talk and act and try to discipline. And I had to pray to God and say, give me some wisdom on how to teach him. You know, me and his father ended up not being together, not because of anything I did, but because the person was married and he was not honest about his situation until after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
So I chose to walk the hell away because I didn't believe in abortion, but I also was not going to disrupt whatever he had going on. He knew better. I did not know. But in the meantime, I prayed about wisdom, how to train up this young man because I know I'm a woman and I'm not one of those women that say, "Oh, I was your father and your mother." That's bullshit, you know. But what God showed me was still enroll him in programs around other responsible male figures so he can learn these traits and these things. It takes a village to raise a child, and a lot of what we don't know is because um whatever. And this is not a sob story to say, "Oh, woe is me. I grew up in this household." Da da da. You can change if you want to, but
Yep.
we all need to work together. We need to put all this BS about masculineness, feminine, that yeah, we have those traits, but we need to find a balance. We need to find a common goal. We need to work together because we got generations coming up behind us that are watching us and that are looking to us for example. So back to the videos that I have on my page, the guy's name
Uh,
is Brandon Joe Williams, and he talks about being sovereign.
we only got 30 seconds left, Miss Carmen. The call is over in about
So
8.
so so check into that. Have a good day. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Carmen. So let me ask a question. This is something I noticed anytime we have a conversation similar to this, and then I'm gonna just throw it out there. Then I'm gonna shut up. I feel like this. Look at me talking about what I feel. I feel like when
Hey
we have
guys.
conversations about masculinity in particular, right? The conversation shifts to humanity and balance and all of that. I don't necessarily hear when we talk about what it means to be feminine or be a woman. I feel like we kind of let it be what it be, but there's all of these different dynamics. There's all of these different viewpoints or perspectives on what a man is. Or I won't even say what a man is, but let's just stick to masculinity. And that kind of was the trigger for today's conversation about the marketing of it. Do and in particular, when I talk about market, let's talk about just social media and television, film, or whatever. What do we see being pushed as what a quote unquote man is today? And are we cool with that direction? Do we need to push more to the right, to the left? Are we kind of right at a sweet spot? What does everybody think in terms of just, let's just stick to the marketing of it. What does everybody think about the marketing of masculinity at this point? The things that you see in the Oval Office, the things that you see on whatever your favorite show is on TV, Paradise or Severance or whatever it is that you watch, WWE. What do we think about what kind of masculinity is being presented today?
Can I say something here?
Yes,
Go
please.
for it.
Yeah, I'm just going to give it like this. If I'm looking at marketing as a man, the question is a sociopath or psychopath or a man of compassion in marketing? If we don't identify which one we're following, we'll find ourselves not being able to match up with someone that don't match up with us, if I can say it that way.
So Nick, I have an example of something that happened to my son. So my son was 10 years of age and the youngest of my four boys. And these kids were bothering him in school. Like literally this guy was it was kind of crazy because one dude was attempting sexual things, talking about his penis and everything. So he come back to me with that. I go to the school immediately. I say, listen, this is not going to be a really, really great outcome if my wife and I have to actually come here together. She sent me here. We have to come here together. You guys had to do something about this. So we looked into it deeply. We found that who they were being funded by in California was allowing a lot of this craziness in the school. And it was just making my son very uncomfortable. So then another gentleman felt that he was going to like bully my son and pick on him. So one time I came, my son, they let the kids have the phones in school. So I FaceTime my son, said, son, where are you? Oh, dad, they let us out of a different area. I see the guy pushing him and bothering him. So I said, son, what's going on? He's like, well, I want to knock him the fuck out, but the teachers, I got in trouble last time when I pushed him back. And the principal said, we can't fight. I said, but wait a minute. He touched you first. Did you get in any trouble? Said, no, that we're supposed to talk about it. Well, after you actually touched him, and then I said, so what do your actual main teacher says? Now, this is the teacher that's the atheist. So she kind of share our reviews. We went and sat with her for a long time. Like literally the only teacher that share like common views to our household. Ironically, a white lady. She said, I think Cash should handle it. And I think he should actually fight back. But I can lose my job if I'm promoting this. So my son, one day he just got tired of it. I told him, he's like, Dad, what should I do? Mom, what should I do? My wife told him, like, listen, if he touch you again, knock him the fuck out. He has to know that he can't put his hands on you. This was my wife telling him this. And I said, I agree with your mother with a bright smile. And he handled the kid. We go to the school. We said, oh, no, it's fine. This is to be the day we take him out of the school. So we just completely took him out of school. That's why he's homeschooled now. For that and the other crazy shit with the sexual stuff that they have going on to school is pretty ridiculous. I don't know if a lot of you parents in California and experience that. But the thing is this, Nick, I find that it's more environmental because as soon as my kids started hanging around kids in Beverly Hills, it was completely different how they respond. They talk differently. They're very aggressive kids. they respond to things physically. I don't think that there is some linear experience biologically. Like it's not, it'll be hard for us to measure this stuff scientifically to say just from a biological perspective, this is how society should operate. It just doesn't work that way. And it's more so environmental than anything, because the way you behave in one environment regarding masculinity and how it's marketed in that environment is going to be completely different when you go to another environment. So those traits may not transfer over to the next environment. But I wanted to get that example with my son, because everything that they were telling my son to do was actually making him docile. And they were literally teaching him on how to be the better person, although someone is physically attacking him. That's just preposterous as far as I'm concerned. That's the easiest way to be to cease to exist on earth. I'm going on mute.
We got 3 more minutes left, Gary. I know I see L, I see Radiate. I don't know who else is on the stage, but can we get them in before we have to close out?
Sure can. So Radiate Radio, if you can give us a minute and a half, tell us where you're calling from, and what would you like to add to the
Peace. Listen, this is beautiful. This platform is amazing. I'm from Virginia, 53, 20, coming up on 26 years of marriage, and 4 children.
Congrats on that.
Yeah, appreciate that, everybody. All of our children are successful. We got a 14-year-old coming through the pipe now. Everybody else is young adults, but we push them with that same example and template of aggressive masculinity. So it pushed them to success, but not without a touch of trauma. You understand what I'm saying? And so getting them there, is of course, as a parent, you want to make sure your children are successful in society. But now we're in a new stage of the relationship where we have to talk and enter into conversations and address the inherited trauma. I think we are thrown into society against a ism, all the isms, all the nomics, and when you throw money into the equation of having to chase the carrot, that makes for an aggressive, inner spirit. And so you teach your children to go out there and get it while you're going out there and getting it, while you're trying to be a good father, while you're trying to be a good husband, but without having the time to sit down at the end of the day and gather your family and give them purpose. So I appreciate this. I am at a stage right now where I've been tapping into my inner self and sitting down and being still and referring to inner reasoning. And that inner reasoning allows us to evaluate, or at least allows me to evaluate myself, go back into my past, heal my past, be a better person than now, and project that what I've learned into the future. So this is a beautiful platform. I can't wait to continue engage with y'all. Just a little quick something to leave y'all with.
Well, hold on, because we at the end of our call, and I really want to get L in. I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off like that,
You
but
got it.
I know we finna wrap up.
Hey,
if you
it's
can,
good.
I know whatever you was gonna say, put in the chat for me, please.
It's good to be here. Thanks for bringing me up.
Yeah, for
Thank you,
sure.
bro.
L, tell us where you're calling from, and what would you like to add to the
Hey
conversation?
y'all, I am in downtown Baltimore by way of New York City. I'm a brand strategist, so I've been just here for the conversation on the marketing aspect of masculinity. And when we look at how marketing was formulated around its peak season, it was appealing to the vices of male masculinity in the 50s, if we look at the Mad Men era, due to men being the predominant breadwinners at that time. And then once women and people of color became a larger respected contributors to the economy, marketing began to shift to be more quote unquote inclusive, for lack of better terms. So the marketing of masculinity is, in my opinion, returning to the inception of marketing's peak era, right? And so marketing masculinity, in short, is marketing of a solution. Because by masculinity, though, we also have to take into consideration, is it according to how we defining that? Is it according to our cultural definitions and distinctions, or do we have a working definition that can apply to most? That's all I wanted to contribute to just further the conversation, but I know we're at 11 o'clock.
Thank you, El. Hold on, I'm gonna follow you.
Yeah,
I like what you said. That was really concise and smart as hell. So
straight up.
I love that. I love that.
Full house.
So look, it's 11 o'clock. We're gonna go ahead and close the room and kind of wrap this phone call up. But I appreciate everybody who jumped in, everybody on the stage, everybody in the audience, everybody in the chat. Chat was lit today. And like I said, I will, let me tell you, I do part of this conversation took a turn away from necessarily the marketing of masculinity and took more of a relationship approach. Woman, what roles and masculinity and all of that. So I think it's, some of these conversations can be tougher than others when we try to stick to marketing. So I pray for, a little grace from everybody, what I'm saying, and seeing as how the conversation took a turn today. But I ask that all of y'all come back next week and, saying we're gonna take another stab at it, because we try to tackle these complex conversations from a marketing perspective, and it requires a level of creativity and cleverness and thoughtfulness when we having these conversations. So I appreciate everybody who jumped on. We do this call every single Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Fanbase. Like I said, like me, love me, follow me here on Fanbase. Throw some love to the people that are here up on the stage. Throw some love to each other in the chat. And we will see y'all next Monday, guys. We appreciate y'all. Love and respect. Peace.
Peace. Take a look at this chat real quick. Yeah, L, I appreciate you jumping on. Thank you, Big Scale. Dime Piece. Good to see you as always, Johan. Jermaine, what up?
Thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for jumping on. Let's see. Hey, man, I appreciate all it. I'll see a few more
I
people.
appreciate the invite.
Yeah, a few more people with their hands up we didn't get to acknowledge. Let's see. I'll tell you what. I'll do this. Owen, I'm going to bring you up. Let's hear what you got to say real quick. Who wants to come up? Real quick. All right, nobody coming up. Cool. Oh, Sapphire. Hey,
Hey,
Sapphire.
greetings. How y'all doing? I'm very much so new to fan base, but I'm not new to these topics. A lot of times I think I just
Tell me where you calling from.
yeah. From Alabama actually.
Alabama. Well,
Yeah,
thank you.
deep in the South area.
Welcome, Alabama. Yeah. So, what would you like to add to the combo?
No, I actually want to say I appreciate you guys. I appreciate y'all for the platform. I appreciate y'all for y'all knowledge. Appreciate y'all for y'all time actually putting in this effort to even do this. I'm new to fan base and I'm new to kind of like marketing a little bit, but I don't believe that I am. I think I've been taking the breadcrumbs of those before us. But as far as the masculinity and femininity conversation, I believe that we do focus a lot on how to change a man when if we and not just a man but the whole mindset of masculinity that women at times forget that we have a hand in this as well because the men that we're talking about were raised by the women that we're talking about. So it's not even really how do we define masculinity or femininity. It's just how do we define what we're trying to do? Because we're talking to each other or we're talking at each other. We're trying to fix something about each other that we have no control over because we've all been in this cage and we're trying to even figure it out, regardless of the color, regardless of whatever. We've only been living this 24 hours one time. And we all experienced COVID together. Your grandmama wasn't prepared for it, neither was the baby that you just had.
Right.
You can be the parent or you can be the child, you can be the teacher or you can be the student, but damn if you're a part of the creation and you're a part of the creator. So that's my defining definition when it comes down to the whole masculinity and femininity conversation. Is we're having a conversation trying to fix something about each other when everybody has experienced this shit differently.
It's true.
Even like that guy Duran, you know what I mean? Like how he was explaining how his wife and you know what I mean, and how he was raised. People be overlooking how they were raised and then they undermine how they were raised, because sometimes how you were raised has a bigger outcome than how masculine or feminine you could be. It's so many women that walk around dressed like women, but they think like a man. They don't think that man can do shit. They think that a man ain't good for shit. And then when a man run across them or talk to them, then it's like they talking to their homeboy versus they talking to a woman. They trying to convince the woman that I want to be with you, and she trying to convince him I don't need you.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of convincing going on versus the number one goal that even the most masculine or the most feminine person wants to have, because some men are feminine, and some women, once they experience a feminine man like that, is in touch with his femininity, not him being gay, not his sexual preference, but him being able to say, I'm hurt, I'm this, I'm that. Those emotions don't come off the same way coming from a man. Sometimes it seems like it's whiny,
Yeah.
or it's this or it's that. So then a man feels like I can't really say this shit. This shit gonna sound like I'm complaining, and I ain't supposed to complain because my mama told me, shit, you gotta man up. I need you to get out here and you gotta be a man. She wasn't exactly clear on the thought of what man she had in his life, what man was not in his life. What a lot of shit goes into aspect and differentiation
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you're trying to captivate something as minuscule as how masculine a man can be or how feminine a woman can be, when if they're working together skills are not up to par. If you don't know how to work with somebody, if you don't know how to listen, breathe, take a moment, because you ain't like what this motherfucker just said, and it could be the woman or it could be the man. And if you are a man and you solving problems, you can't solve every problem. A bitch gonna always have a problem. That bitch don't never know what she want to eat, and you trying to solve that while you trying to solve that and this and that. You'll drive yourself insane
Goddamn right.
trying to be
That's all.
trying to be that
Yeah, that's true.
when So I mean, I probably hey, I ain't trying to
Uh,
but I am taken to this fan base platform, and I am taken to you guys, and I think highly of your thoughts and your ideas and the way that you guys create. And you got this group together and you do it every week. And I'm gonna tune in every week and I'm gonna chime in every week.
that
And what
sounds
I'm building here is a radio station. You know what I
well,
mean? So
that's
yes, that I want to be able to take y'all's, not like y'all's, but I want to be able to include this type of stuff.
definitely.
Like,
We should.
you know what I'm saying? Running a platform where we don't have to get it reviewed by somebody that may not want that type of content
Yeah.
push.
Yeah. Well, I
You feel me? So, but yeah, definitely, you guys, y'all are amazing, and we got to continue to have these conversations to be able to jump these hurdles and get where we're trying to go.
I agree. Well, next week we're gonna take another stab at it. Uh,
Hey, it's not a problem. I appreciate y'all.
yeah, for sure. Owen, welcome to the stage. Where you calling from? What would you like to add to the convo? Owen going once. Owen going twice.
Oh, here we go. I figured it out. I figured it out. I thought you had to mute me, brother. I
So
appreciate it.
tell us
Thank
where you
you.
calling from, bro. What would you like to add? Yes,
Yes,
sir. Give
sir.
me
Can
about
you hear me?
90 seconds.
I'm calling from. Yes, sir. I'm calling from Houston, Texas, by way of Detroit,
All
Michigan.
right,
What up,
Detroit.
though? So, um, yes, sir. Yes, sir. What I want us fellas to start doing when we're talking about masculinity, and I see a lot of debates back and forth, male, female, and what I'm seeing is the guys are looking at concessions that we normally give to women. We open the door. There's certain things that we allow for women to do, and we'll hold ourselves back. And there's certain things in masculinity where you put the man first. Maybe we get the big piece of chicken. Okay. But what I'm seeing a whole lot is that men are asking to be put on the level of the woman. So if the woman is allowed to, no disrespect to any woman, but to act a fool about something, right? And we kind of accept that because we accept a certain emotional capacity she may have. Men are now wanting to be just as emotional, and they'll claim that, well, she did it. She did it. I hear it sometimes listening to these kinds of dialogues where we have to realize, men, that if we are stronger, we can take more off of our women. So while she's probably throwing them a couple darts, we got to remember some of them darts don't hurt. We don't need to throw that dart back at her, and we do it automatically, and that's not productive because she's gonna look at the fact that the dart hurt before she deal with why she got the dart, and maybe she even deserved the dart. But it's not gonna get us to where we need to go. So us as men, we have to learn this word benevolence, where we can take more than the woman can take, and we need to be ready to take more and get past it. And sometimes we lose the little battle to win the war. We trying to win every little battle and every little argument, and we trying to have something back to say and be just as quick with the lips as these women are. Man, we need to get back to being strong and being silent and being ready. We can talk amongst ourselves like we're doing right now because it has purpose. But to be arguing amongst ourselves and then I'm gonna get loud because she getting loud, I'm gonna get violent because she getting violent, like that's not strength at all, brothers. That's all I had to say.
Blessings, bro. Well, I appreciate that. Jeffrey.
Yes, good morning. I'm in Rhode Island, and I just wanted to add that when it comes to masculinity, it's all depends. It's all about the culture.
We going three
So
times.
someone had mentioned how you grew up. It does matter because how you grew up depends on the culture that you grew up, and also
Oh,
your religion background as well.
where you calling from, Jeffrey?
I'm in Rhode Island. I'm not
Hold
sure if
on.
you're in. Yes.
Thank you. All right. So yeah, drop it on me. What
Yeah, I
you?
was gonna say because a Muslim culture or Christian culture or Orthodox Christian culture, it's every masculinity is going to be different. And but you one thing you will find is the aggressiveness of each of those religion will have. But it's all about the culture. That's all I wanted to say.
Blessings, Jeffrey. I appreciate that. All right. Weeks. Weeks. Coming up, weeks.
Yo, what up, bro?
Chilling. You have four.
Back in Atlanta, man. Finally, that way Florida, of course. I just think like I hated that we couldn't really tie it into marketing, but you know, and then like scale and certain people saying it's like the definition is the most important thing. And so, masculinity is it's composure, right? Like Isaac laid a lot of it out in the initial part of this conversation. I think the composure and ability to communicate and then interact honestly. I think those things are masculine. I don't think it's bullying. I don't think it's physic. I think physicality is a part of it. Being able to handle and defend yourself, protect your people, do whatever you need to do. Those are also parts of it. So the fact that when we look at what just happened in the White House, when we look at certain things and how masculinity is being marketed, a lot of it is about the physical part, about the domination part, the domineering portion of it, right? It's about the absolute control portion of it. But and just balancing life equilibrium is hard to do where you're able to listen, where you're able to understand other people's perspective, because a lot of business is handled by leading with your forehead, leaning forward into things and making sure that at the end of the day, you get what you need out of the interaction. And so that's what marketing, obviously the past of people who are the dominant society now, how aggressive and murderous and how they were, that influenced so much of who we are as a society today. And so the more that we understand, how not to consume or observe all of these different ways that things are marketed to us, even how action figures got big as hell, got all the muscles. They started to evolve over time, and it was all about that. But that's what it's the brute. That's what masculinity is marketed as. But in actuality, I just think it's communication. I think it's most importantly composure, because you can really think, analyze, and then react accordingly and accurately when you do have composure. I'll land there.
I definitely.
I definitely.
Or said
Or I said
heard that
heard
like
that like
another
another
piece of
piece of which is going
just
back,
going back,
and
and
I think
I
it's
think it's
as
that as
definitely
definitely a little bit more in just intuitively. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not intuitive when it comes to listening because we listen to solve problems. You know what I'm saying? Because that's part of our function. You know what I'm saying? Like part of our function as men is to protect and provide, which requires us to make decisions very, very quickly. You know what I'm saying? And so we don't have a lot of time to process our thoughts and feelings about what's going on with us and what we're about to do and how we feel about what we're about to do. And you know what I'm saying? Like we don't have a lot of times we don't have the luxury of that. But women do because they're nurturers. They have the time to sit and be introspective and invite conversation and dialogue and thoughts and feelings about things that are going on around them because they're nurturers. Like that's how you keep a household moving. That's how you keep a household healthy. But a woman only has time to do that if the man has done his job with regards to protecting, providing, creating a safe space for her to sit and contemplate and feel feelings and think thoughts. But with regards to masculinity and femininity, I do appreciate the fact that women invite us over to that side of um, the conversation as well. That side of receiving information just for the sake of receiving it and not looking to solve a problem. You know what I'm saying? Just listen to me just for the sake of listening, which in a lot of cases can be cathartic for both of us. Because I feel like we don't necessarily get a chance to connect when she wants to share a problem and we want to just solve it. But yeah, so that's my last thought. All right. I'm gonna give it 3 seconds. Anybody else raise their hand? They can come up. After that, I'm sliding. Appreciate you all for jumping on, hanging out with us for an extra 20 minutes just to make sure that everybody had an opportunity to say what they needed to say. Um, yeah. Monday, y'all, 10 a.m. Y'all be creative this week. Have lunch with a friend. Peace.
Bravery is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it. We stand for those who defy suppression, who speak out, and those who walk the road less traveled. Everyone deserves to be seen and their voices be heard. We're sparking a movement, growing a community of creators united by the desire for freedom, choice, equity, and ownership. At Fanbase, it's all for one and one for all. We support each other to guide, promote, and uplift you in a place where you can unapologetically be yourself. A place where your voice, ideas, and creativity are not just welcomed, but celebrated. We are Black founded, minority funded, and supported by a diverse, inclusive, powerful community that believes in the strength of authenticity and individual choice. Regardless of success or background, we welcome you. The marginalized, the underappreciated, the successful, the superstar. We're for all who seek a space to express themselves freely, where they are rewarded for being their authentic, true self. We transcend labels because only we have the right to define ourselves. We are built for the brave, the culture, the creators, and for the future where everyone has the power to shape their own destiny, where all are empowered, voices are amplified, and freedom is embraced. For the first time, you have the chance to own the platform you helped make popular. It's a revolution, a movement in how we connect, create, and share. Everyone is a creator, and everyone has a fan base. Here, you can be you without limits.